Welcome to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, with your host Zaki Baruti. And like always, I want to give a shout out to my biological family. What's happening? To the Universal African People's Organization family, what's going on? And to New Life Evangelistic Center family headed by Reverend Rice. Keep up the great work. And a shout out to our amazing cameraman Bob. On that note, we'll have a great show because in studio with me is a young man who's the executive director of Metropolitan Congregations United for St. Louis, and I'm speaking none other than DeMarco Davidson.
Yes, sir. Davidson. Yes, sir.
All right, welcome to the program.
Honor to be here again. Thank you.
Okay, then, and I appreciate that. Whenever I begin the programs, I always like for my guests to share some background information about themselves, so our audience would know who our guest is. So,
yes.
Would you kindly share some? Wherever you want people to know of DeMarco Davidson.
Yes, I always share with people that, hey, I'm just a kid from North County who was...
What part of North County?
So really, first it was the unincorporated area.
Oh, okay.
But I often like to say that I'm one of the last kids of Robertson, Missouri.
Okay.
Because both my grandmothers were there, two of my grandfathers were there. The church I grew up in was in Robertson, Missouri. My father was a firefighter for Robertson Fire Department, and a huge amount of friends, family, loved ones were in Robertson, Missouri as well. So I spent a lot of summers, a lot of time in Robertson, and just to even bring more awareness of who I am and why I do what I do. Robertson was a black town, black-owned town. It's part of Hazelwood, Missouri, so a lot of people haven't heard of it, but a lot of people have heard of Kinloch. The same black brothers who developed and created Kinloch created Robertson. And unfortunately, in the late 80s, early 90s, the airport decided that they wanted that area. So they bought all the black folks out, destroyed all the houses, and when they started digging up the ground, they forgot about the toxic waste that was dumped there during the Manhattan Project, and they left, and they just stopped. After they destroyed a black town here in St. Louis, that was it. The church I went to, First Missionary Baptist Church of Robinson, where Reverend Cornelius Osby is still the pastor. They tried their best to figure out what they could do to stay. The sick and stay. They still out there. But right now they redeveloped it, like the logistics centers here and there, but it's not the same. And so that is part of what I do. And as the executive director of Metropolitan Congregations United, where we organize congregations, people of faith, to create just systems. I truly believe that congregations and communities of faith can be sustaining forces in communities. So that's one of the things that I do and why I do it, because I've experienced what it's like to lose an entire neighborhood, an entire community, where literally everybody knows your name.
Okay, then. Now, as I introduce you as the executive director of Metropolitan Congregations United for St. Louis, now, how long has that organization been in?
Yeah, we say MCU for short.
Yes.
Yes, because it's a mouthful. So MCU, to my understanding, started in 1997 when there were three separate faith-based organizations, one in North County, or the county area, one in North City, one in South City. Those three organizations came together to create MCU because they realized that...
And these were religious organizations?
Yes, faith-based organizations, yes.
Uh-huh.
And they realized that they could accomplish more together, and they wanted to work on not just some of the local issues, but also actually address some of the regional issues. For example, one of the big things that put MCU on the map was that they were part of the coalition that made sure when Highway 6440 was being rebuilt and redeveloped, that minorities, people of color, not only got contracts and not only got hired, but also got a certain amount of number of hours to actually work. Because they can say, oh, we'll hire 10, 20 people, but we won't give them any hours, and that means they're not getting any dollars.
Right.
So
right.
They were part of the organization and part of a coalition of organizations that really came forth and made sure that people of color got not just a fair shake, but an honest chance to build some, start building some development, some wealth.
So again, re-emphasizing what is the mission of the Metropolitan MCU?
Yeah.
And about how many congregations is it consist of?
So, like I say, one thing I like to make it super easy, I like to say we organize congregations of people of faith to support, to assist impacted people to address the policies that impact them the most. So we actually, right now, we got about 40 to 50 congregations who are members, dues paying members to our organization. And when they pay dues, not only do they get an organizer who supports their congregation in either getting that congregation clear on their mission and vision. Some congregations like to, once they get clear on their mission and vision, they like to make sure that they actually are focusing on what the community surrounding their congregation actually wants. Unfortunately, a lot of people who go to who still worship in certain spaces and places don't live in the communities where their church is. So we have to get the input from those communities. I'm not okay with holy gentrifiers,
right?
But then also some of those congregations hear from the voices of the people in those communities. Sometimes they realize like, oh, we have to address some of the challenges, and some of these challenges are coming from elected officials. So then you got to know how to actually build political power, and then sometimes that can definitely get a little dicey when it comes to working with 501c3s. However, we make sure that nobody loses their 501c3, but we make sure that congregations absolutely push as much as possible for those who want to do that.
Now, is MCU just all black, or is it interracial?
Interracial. So right now, honestly, we're mostly Christian at the moment. However, I've been working to reestablish our relationships with the Jewish and Muslim communities, as well as agnostic, as well as other faith traditions as well, including humanist, universalist as well.
Now, how long have you been the executive director?
Yeah, so I first became a full-time staff member at MCU at the end of 2018, and I'm blessed to say that I became the executive director on October 11th, 2023.
Okay, then. Right now, we'll have to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Behind me is the New Life Evangelistic Center administrative offices in Overland, Missouri. And this is where we shoot our shows for our worship shows and the Here's Help Network. And it's also where Zaki Baruti and Bernie Hayes shoot their shows. You can find all of these shows at the New Life Evangelistic Center app, the NLEC TV app. You can also access them on your tablet or on your computer. And this is how you can stay up to date with all the things that New Life Evangelistic Center is doing. There are so many different programs that we've got going on, and God is doing many exciting things through partners like you. So if you want to support the work that New Life is doing, then please access and give through the app. You can go online at nlecstl.org or give us a call at 314-421-3020. Again, 314-421-3020. But this is the best way to get plugged into the amazing work that New Life is doing through people like you. And so there is something for you to get involved in today. And we are so thankful for our partners. Only through the grace of God and your gift are we able to bless others today.
An epidemic of homelessness is sweeping throughout the United States of America. In city after city, people are ending up on the streets. Now, instead of feeling overwhelmed, as believers, we can do three things. We can give, we can volunteer, and we can pray. We can pray for the homeless refugees that we're finding in one city after another, all over the United States. So many people ending up out on the streets, and the hearts of so many are growing cold at this particular time and indifferent to the need. Jesus said, as oft as you've done it to the least of these, he said, even so you've done it unto me. When's the last time you've prayed for the homeless refugees in the United States of America, appearing in city after city, not only in major cities, but even smaller cities? So many people ending up out on the streets, even in resort areas, places you never think you'd find homeless people, they're there. Jesus said, foxes have holes and birds have nests, but he, the Son of Man, had nowhere to lay his head. Please pray for the refugees. Please pray for the homeless people in America, and pray for those that are on the front lines, the first responders, reaching out through Jesus Christ among the homeless and hurting, whether it's in Springfield or St. Louis, Your prayers and gifts to the New Life Evangelistic Center makes a big difference. This New Life Evangelistic Center, P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri is 63166.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is the Executive Director of the MCU, which is Metropolitan Congregations United, and I'm speaking of DeMarco Davidson. On the other side of the break, I was asking in terms of how long you've been Executive Director. Under your leadership, what kind of issues have you been able, that you have had to navigate as the Executive Director?
Yes. One of the reasons why I say, hey, I became the Executive Director on October 11th, 2023, because that was 4 days after the Israel-Hamas conflict really came to the forefront that we know of here in America. I understand that some of that conflict been going on way beforehand, but it really came here to our attention on that date. So I had to navigate that. And in the midst of that, we were already in a signature gathering campaign to collect signatures to increase the minimum wage, as well as establish and create guaranteed sick pay. We actually was able to get that on the ballot, and it won. And we were able to keep the minimum wage increase. Unfortunately, the legislation has decided to undo the guaranteed sick pay portion. We also work with, and first off, also let me say we hire people who have been impacted by the issues that they want to address. So we work on transformative justice for those who are formerly incarcerated. We work on environmental justice, those who've been impacted by whether it's air, water, or land pollution. We also focus on housing as well and utility justice as well. So and we make sure that the people who are closest to the problem also are the people often with who have the solutions too. So that's what we try to do that.
So in terms of, so you're proud that you did help increase the minimum wage, and what was the other one?
The guaranteed sick pay.
Okay, guaranteed sick pay, which they reversed that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why is it important? So part of that then is involved political organizing then. So why is it important for folks to be politically conscious and utilize their right to vote?
Yes. So I'll even add, why do we want congregations to be politically conscious, right?
Yes.
So because of our faith and our values. If we say that we believe that yes, if every child's supposed to be born and supposed to be taken care of, then it's not just when that child is born. It's also how does this child being fed? What's the nutrition for this child? What's the home life, right? All these factors play into making sure that there's a safe and this child has a chance to have a longevity of life. So that's one reason why congregations, because of the faith values that often are far too often violated by people who also sometimes claim the same faith. At the same time as me, I can't speak for MCU, I can only speak for me. When I read scripture, when I read text, I see God is usually on the side of the oppressed, not the oppressors.
That's right. I know that's right.
So that's part of it too, you know.
I know that's right. Now, most recently, actually on May the 16th, so you had a big day on October 11th, but most recently in St. Louis, May 16th, we had a tornado that just devastated a large, a large population. They say over $1.7 billion, 5,000 homes kind of damaged or destroyed. Two questions for you on that. First of all, were you directly impacted yourself, as well as what kind of work has MCU been involved in terms of response to the tornado?
Yes.
Let's go with personal first of all.
Yeah, personally. So not only, I was definitely personally impacted. I was in having a meeting at Centennial Christian Church off of Kings Highway in North City. I was having a meeting with the minister of health at that congregation. We were in a room that had stained glass windows, so we couldn't see outside. And unfortunately, because the sirens didn't go off, we were not able to make it to a safe area of the church in time. And we were directly impacted. Not only did I see another person who, right before they passed away, unfortunately, me and another lady, we were literally swept up and thrown We fell onto the floor. The floor of that church unfortunately gave out and the ceiling fell on us. So we were trapped for over 90 minutes.
Wow, you were actually trapped inside of the church. That's where someone lost their life too.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, because the bell tower got hit by all of the debris that was from the storm and destroyed their bell tower, and that tower fell in. And unfortunately, took the life of one of the matriarchs of their church.
Now you under the debris. What kind of that had to have been a deep experience.
Extremely.
So what's going through your mind? What's the interaction?
Yes.
From the sister that it was two of you then under the debris.
Yes.
And the third person who passed away.
Yeah.
What kind of interaction were y'all?
Yeah.
Could you communicate with her or?
Yes. Yeah. No. She because so half my body, I was laying down and at an angle at a slant. She was on top of half of me with debris on top of her, with debris also underneath us. And that's one reason I always share people, by the grace of the Most High, I was actually able to hold on to my phone. So when I was able, because I had a case with a phone, I was able to, after I gained my composure, check for cuts, anything impaling or bleeding like that, and getting debris out my mouth, my nose, my eyes, my ears, and checked with the person that was there as well. I saw that I still had signal on my phone. My phone was dirty, so I decided to call 911. But when I called 911, it said, "Thank you for calling the non-emergency hotline. Please hang up and call 911 if this is an emergency." And
Wait a minute, say it again now. You called 911.
Yes.
And they said, hang up?
Yes. If this is an emergency, hang up and call 911. I couldn't believe it. And I had cuts from, top of my head to my ankle, with a 79-year-old woman on half my body with debris on top of us, and seeing able to see the sky. So I'm not sure if the rest of the ceiling go falling or not. I don't know if the debris underneath go fall out. So I was like, oh, this is an emergency. So I actually followed instructions. I hung up and called 911 again, and it said the same thing. But that's when I was like, I got to go into action. And I started calling friends, family, loved ones, clergy, people from my church, to let them know that we survived, but we are not safe.
Wow. That's man, on that note, we have to take a break. I'm going to have to give me a drink of water after that.
Yeah.
I want to encourage you to continue to pray for the Zaki Baruti Show and the work of the New Life Evangelistic Center. You can help sponsor this show, the Zaki Baruti Show, by sharing your gift with the New Life Evangelistic Center at P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. I spent a lot of time this past week among the tornado victims, that EF3 tornado that struck the St. Louis area on May 16th, 2025. The needs just continue to grow. And I encounter a lot of people that are having joy in their heart, but also they're very worried about what the future is going to bring. There's other people that are experiencing despair. We're trying to help people, not only with physical needs, but also encouraging people to have hope. Yes, and that's why we're also distributing the New Life Zoe free paper. We'll make available to you, Planting Seeds of Hope. It's just filled with testimonials, stories of people who found hope in the midst of desperate situations. Many of them are homeless people, people that begin discovering a new life. As we share hope, we want to encourage you to join us in doing that. And if you'd like a bundle of papers, drop by 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. I want you to know that there is hope. You may have been one of the victims of the tornado. If you need shelter, call us here at New Life Evangelistic Center at 314-421-3002. You need household items. We invite you to come and visit us here at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri, and the free store that we have that you can select items out of, between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. But call first, 314-421-3020. You can join the teams that go out on the streets daily by just linking up with our volunteers. And again, the number is 314-421-3020. Many ways you can get involved to help people at this critical moment. I thank God for those of you that are sharing with New Life Evangelistic Center so we can help those in need. It's P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri. That's 63166. Let's make a difference for good and go out and help so many right now. Let's let them know that there is hope. Let's continue to share hope through direct help.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti. In studio with me is DeMarco Davidson, Executive Director, MCU. I'm just on the break, had to try to get myself together after hearing your story. Now, you said it was no siren.
No sirens.
Siren, yeah. Okay. So what has, after you were rescued, and then I guess you were able to survey after you were in okay shape, the circumstance of a lot of devastation in the community. So what is your analysis of the response from the federal level government, state level government, and local level government to the disaster?
Yes. One, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of the amazing people here in St. Louis. People showed up like I expected St. Louis to show up. I believe that St. Louis is full of people, is a community that cares about showing up for those in their worst moments. And the fact that there were people from my congregation from St. John's United Church of Christ in St. Louis City that showed up before some of the emergency workers could, because there's so many trees down. And I didn't know so many trees down. I didn't know what was going on. Even one of my church members brought a chainsaw that they actually used to get us out. So when also this is unheard of. This is like yes, we know that there was a tornado in 1959, and then there was another tornado that was also really horrible in 1929 that almost kind of like took the same path. So kind of like a cycle of almost like 100 years type thing. However, we are not used to having EF3 tornadoes come through North City. Right. To start in Clayton, Brentwood, and then come through North City. The storm had so much power still that it went through Illinois, then go to Kentucky to create more tornadoes and kill 15 more people. So we are seeing natural disasters come here to St. Louis way more often because of the enhanced climate change. So I let people know climate change is real, it's natural, but it's accelerated climate change. And to know that there were people who ran for office who really like gave a hard time to the former mayor of St. Louis City about her response to the ice storm. People don't know, or people aren't aware that also was a natural disaster. They actually named that Winter Storm Blair. So with that being said, the response from FEMA, the response from some of the local people, unfortunately, and I'm being 100% honest, the slowness of the response was expected, only because I have an understanding of we are in a red state, but we are a blue city, a blue dot city, and therefore the elected officials really do not care. They do not care about the responses or how we show up, because we most likely are not going to vote for them. And unfortunately, as I tell people, when politicians try to say, "Oh, they're not my constituents," that's ridiculous. If I suffer consequences, I'm your constituent. It's a con for a con. And when just seeing those things, so realizing that, I think that's why people like Action St. Louis, organizations like Action St. Louis, and so many others, and so many congregations kicked in right away, because we knew we couldn't depend on the powers that be. So I appreciate the powers that be, the elected officials who have been showing up. Alderwoman Shameen Clark Hubbard of the 10th Ward is one of them. But we need way better responses. Especially from the Board of Aldermen of St. Louis City. They've already voted and said they're going to dedicate $30 million from the REMS money. And I just want to say that's the interest, right? So it's not even the actual principal, it's the interest of the money to help with the reestablishment and rebuilding, but it still hasn't been established. It still hasn't came through yet.
Yeah, our position on it is an organization, Universal African People's Organization. We say spend all of the REMS.
Yes, all 830 million plus,
yeah,
yes.
Or wherever amount it is to restore and recover.
And I think it's insulting for them to advertise and celebrate an entertainment district, the development of an entertainment district, when families still don't have homes, when children who had a school in May don't have a school to go to in August and September, right? So I think that's insulting, and that's one reason why MCU and several other organizations and congregations will be working to hold the elected officials accountable.
Okay, and with that said, real quick grading, 1 to 5, federal government, and 5 being the highest, what grade would you give them, real quick?
2.
State government, coming out of Jeff City.
Sure, 0.5.
2.5. Local government, headed by Mayor
Kara Spencer.
Yes.
I'm gonna show some grace. Unlike her who didn't show grace to me, I'm gonna show her some grace. I'm gonna give her a 3.
A 3.
Yeah.
Okay then. Okay.
Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna take another break.
There are so many people who work in our community glorifying God with the gifts that they have, and we thank Zaki for doing that regularly with us. You can make a difference too by partnering alongside New Life Evangelistic Center. If you're tired of seeing all of the pain and the hurting around you in your community, and you're ready to get into the trenches and to work alongside a ministry that has been doing this work for so long, consider and pray helping New Life Evangelistic Center to be there when people are hurting. Zaki has done that for many years, and we're so thankful for that. You can be a part of the difference too. You can be a part of the team, God's team, of working to help heal the hurts of hurting people in our community. We would love to partner alongside you. Please contact us soon to get involved with the work of New Life Evangelistic Center.
It's wonderful to hear the Word of God and be blessed, but the Scripture says we must do more. The Bible says, to him or her knoweth to do good and doeth it not, it's a sin. And also, faith without works is dead, and we're to not only be hearers of the Word, but doers also. NewLifeEvangelisticCenter.org is the website you can go to discover what you can do throughout Mid-America to not only be a hearer of the Word, but a doer also. You can also call 1-800-334-3276 or 314-421-3020. Let's be doers of the Word of God.
Welcome back to Conversation with Zaki Baruti, and we're going to have a couple more minutes with the Executive Director of MCU, Metropolitan Congregations United. For people who want to support MCU or get some help from MCU, how would they be able to get in contact with you?
Yes, definitely. So I'm excited and honored to work with people who actually have the foresight and said, hey, recognize there were congregations, some of the same congregations that have been holding down communities, like supporting communities, they were impacted. So, and some of the same clergy who are out here, who many people don't see, these aren't the mega pastors you see on a regular basis. They are out here just nonstop. So we actually started a fund to collect funds to support congregations and clergy who were directly impacted and or those who've been directly serving those in need. So you can go to our website, MCUStLouis.org, if they would like to make an investment or a donation. But then also they can contact me via email or just give me a phone call to learn how they can be supported, as well as if there are communities who would like to see some changes made in their community, we are here for it. Right now, we currently are working with the 24-1 to create a transportation development district to support better transportation, better bus routes, better bus stops and things like that for the whole 24-1 area as well.
Okay,
Yep.
Then. As well as there will be a community forum featuring a number of elected officials, predominantly elected officials, including state senators Carla May and Brian Williams.
And as well as some of the several alder people, including Alderman Rasheen, Alderwoman Shameen Clark Hubbard, and I think Alderwoman Laura Keys, I think, so far.
Right.
We were hoping to get more, but then also
as well as Kim Collins and Dale Taylor, Missouri State
reps. Yes.
And that's going to be when?
At St. Paul on July 31st. We should get the information. Remember the exact times and dates.
It's at 6 p.m.
Yep, 6 p.m. Okay.
And
July
that's
31st.
being sponsored by Community Justice Coalition
and MCU.
MCU.
Yep.
So we only have 1 minute. What would be your closing message to our people? Just
Yes. Seriously, the government has shown us time and time again that we cannot rely on them. That's why I always encourage people to become self-sustaining as much as possible. But however, because we pay taxes, they still owe us some support. So it's up to us to make them work for us the way they're supposed to.
And I appreciate that. And that's a leeway to my closing remarks. As they owe us, but to hold them accountable, you got to know the issues and you need to go out and vote at every election, as well as you need to belong to an organization that has a track record of speaking truth to power. We say join the Universal African Peoples Organization or MCU. On that note, may God bless each and every one of you. And again, thank you.
Thank you.